Okay, let's take a look at the topic on dynamics. Okay, the first thing that we'll be looking is a free body diagram, which means we look at the forces that's been exerted on a static object. Then we'll see what happens when the object is moving. So in this example, we're looking at is that we're putting a beaker of water on a weighing scale. All right. So let's study the forces acting on the beaker of water. So from here, you can see that the dotted line helps us to estimate the CG of the beaker and the water. And from there, we actually draw a vertical arrow downwards to indicate the weight of each of these objects. So in the case of, it's quite clear that based on the drawing itself, the weight of the beaker is larger than the weight of the water. And then the next part, which is most critical for us, is to study the action-reaction pair. In this case, there's definitely one, because the beaker of water is exerting a force on the weighing scale, and the weighing scale is exerting a force in the opposite direction onto the beaker. So in this case, this would actually be your R. And clearly this is the R that's exerted on the weighing scale. Certainly, if you want, we could extend it to look at the weighing scale itself. In this case, the weighing scale would also has a action-reaction pair. This reaction pair is the reaction force exerted by the ground on the scale. Okay, this will be the reaction force exerted by the ground on the scale. Clearly, this value will also be R as well. So from here, we now know that if the object is static, that means whatever forces that is exerted on the body must vectorially cancel themselves out. All right. So in this case, we know that the R is equal to mWg plus mbg. Well, in this case, both R values are the same. And clearly, in this case, we will know that the reading of your weighing scale will now be R, because that's the force that's been exerted on it. So let us now take a look at what happens if we decide to insert in a steel ball. So as you can see the dotted line here, once you insert in a steel ball, obviously the water level would have risen. And in this case, let's take a look at the forces that's now acting on the steel ball first. So the force that will continue to act on the steel ball is obviously the tension provided by the rope, provided by the string. All right. Then it will have MSG, that's actually the weight of the steel ball, and there will also be an up thrust being exerted on it. All right. So this buoyant force, the calculations is V is actually the volume of the steel ball, rho W is actually the density of the water, and G is your acceleration due to gravity. So the other action-reaction pair we're going to introduce next is as a consequence of the up thrust acting on the ball. So the up thrust acting on the ball is actually the force exerted by the water on the steel ball. So conversely, you will find that now the up thrust, now the force exerted by the ball on the water will actually be U. So aside from all these, you will find that there will be a U exerting downwards. So these two forces are action-reaction pair due to the interaction or the contact between the ball and the water. So in this case, the value of R will now change. We put it as R1. You can see that you need to add the up thrust. And clearly, this will be R1, this will be R1. And we now know that previously your reading R will now increase to R1. So now let's take a look at what happens if we decided to cut the string. If we decide to cut the string, the steel ball will actually be descending downwards. Its initial speed is 0, but as time passes by, its speed will start increasing. Of course, it will eventually reach terminal velocity. Let's take a look at the force now acting on the steel ball. So for the steel ball, we have actually already removed the tension because it's no longer being suspended by the string. However, there will be an additional force called the resistance force as a consequence of the ball moving through the water. So this Fr is equal to Kv. K is a dimensionless constant or proportionality constant. So as time passes by, your FR will actually be increasing. So bear in mind, because T increase, V increase. So when T increases, your FR increases. But more important of all, from the standpoint of action-reaction pair, your FR is now also an action-reaction pair. So it means that the water that exerts the force on the steel by FR pointing upwards, the ball now exerts an equal amount, which is still FR, downwards, all right, on the water. So these two forces are action-reaction pair between the ball and the water. And because of that, we need to add another FR. So hence, because of this, you will find that the eventually the reading will increase, gradually increase to R2. So it means that the very moment you cut the string, you probably expect the weighing scale to increase from R1 towards R2, and the maximum value of R2 occurs when the steel ball reaches terminal velocity. In conclusions, for any free body diagram or analysis of forces acting on any object, it is important for you to identify the action-reaction pair. We hope this example clearly illustrates it. Thank you.